Hello everyone, wargames here with another little video. I say little, I'd like to make them longer, but my camera can't handle anything longer than about 11.5 minutes, so we're on the clock. I do apologise, it's been an incredibly long time since I last released anything. I should get on that more often, and hopefully this is the start of that. So today I'd like to talk about painting units of miniatures for wargames. In particular, I'd like to talk about how we paint units. Now, quite often we'll start on the front rank. Okay, we'll start with people in front. We'll think, okay, I'll paint these, and then I'll paint some more, and I'll paint some of a few people behind them. So normally what happens is we'll paint someone on a corner, might paint the person next to them, maybe even the person behind them. If we're really lucky, we'll get the whole front rank done, and after a while we end up with something a little bit like this, which is, you know, let's be honest here, nowhere near finished. And yet we see all the remaining unit models that, all the remaining models that need to be painted in the unit, and we think, oh dear, that's quite a lot, isn't it? Now, I've given this some thought, and maybe it's because during the majority of gameplay we'll actually be viewing them from behind as they march towards our enemies. Now in this case, as you can see, a sea of unpainted metal, a few miniatures in the front. Actually, I seem to have gone down that file for some reason, but a few miniatures in the front are painted, a whole load of unpainted miniatures, and as you paint them over time, you just see all those unpainted miniatures. You never see much improvement because everything interesting is happening at the front of the unit, and it just puts you off continuing because you're not seeing much progress for all the work you're putting into it. And additionally, opponents who, if you paint very slowly, like me, I paint ridiculously slowly, opponents don't seem to notice gradual changes in the painted state of the unit over time. So what I'm trying out here with this little unit is painting the back rank first. So I've started at the back, working my way along towards the front. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this. Firstly, if my opponents aren't going to notice any difference anyway, I might as well start with things they won't see, and then if it were a large unit of multiple ranks as I work my way towards the beginning, they might notice that space being filled in. Notice the unpainted figures rapidly disappearing, or gradually disappearing from the front of the unit. Whereas here, for example, if I were painting the front, they'd see the front rank and not necessarily much beyond that. I mean, look, I can see the whole unit from here. It's just, players at arm's length across the table. They don't necessarily look all the way in. But if I were to start painting from back and work my way forwards, as I'm doing over here, it's possible they might notice the gradual changes over time. Now, additionally, there is another benefit to this, which is if I turn this unit round, obviously, I will probably be looking at them from behind as they march towards the enemy. And I know these bases don't rank up well. They're 18mm instead of 20mm on a, that thing's designed for 10-20mm bases, really, isn't it? So there's going to be slight gaps. I'll probably paint the tray between them and glue them all in. They're going to be used for Kings of War anyway, so I don't need to do casualty removal. I might do something with like sticky tape or something like that, But essentially, so started on the end here, work my way along, and then as you see, I'm gradually working. So I've like base coated metals here, and I'll so every figure is progressively less well painted essentially. So I'm working on more than one miniature at once. But anyway, the idea is that looking at them from behind, right, I can see the progress, right? And I mean, looking at this unit from the front, if I were to paint some more on them, I'd be aware of the progress, but my opponents wouldn't. Whereas here, right, instead of looking at the back of the unit and seeing this mass of unpainted figures, I'm seeing painted figures, right? And I'm seeing more and more painted figures as I continue to work on the unit. And this will look encouraging to me, right? So not only is, well, it's mostly for my own benefit, not really for opponents, you know. But the idea is that having more painted figures at the back of the unit, working forwards, and ideally I'd want 3 or 4 ranks to work with to try this out, but I'm just testing it on a little unit of 10. But having more painted figures at the back of the unit will encourage me to paint them more often. I don't know if it's going to work out, but it's an idea and it's an experiment. Goodness, this is like 5 or 6 weeks of me painting these really slowly. I'm hoping to have another 1 or 2 finished in the next few weeks. Anyway, yeah, there's my little idea. You know, it's hardly groundbreaking, hardly the most innovative idea out there, but you know, what do you think of maybe painting the back ranks first and working your way forwards? I suppose many of you don't even play ranked games, and you're more skirmish games with bases scattered about all over the place, and you know what? That's absolutely fine. I love that kind of game. But this little, you know, fort splurge here is more about actual rank and file painting units up. And I know 10 figures, some people wouldn't even call that a rank and file unit, but hey, it's an experiment, okay? And I'll see how it goes. Might even pop back with another video later on with an update on this little experiment. In the meantime, you know, feel free to, you know, post in the comments, let us know what you think of it. And I'll hopefully be back in the near future, or relatively near future, with another video. Alright, well, bye bye for now, and I'll see you next time.